Hello everyone, my name's Cliff and welcome back to my channel. This is Cliff's Dark Gems. Today I'm going to be presenting my old school April TBR and Watchathon, and I'm really looking forward to this. Stay tuned. First of all, we got lots and lots of prompts that I've printed out, and it's going to be pretty awesome. And I want to thank Kelsie from Slime and Slashes for putting this whole thing together. You can see I'm going to be very busy this month, reading a lot and watching a lot of great movies. Okay, the first prompt is read a Goosebumps book or a book that fits the vibe of an Are You Afraid of the Dark episode. Now I've decided to go with the vibe thing because I haven't really read any Goosebumps. I wasn't brought up on the Goosebumps series. So I'm going with the whole idea of water and drowning, and that is with Dark Water, Koji Suzuki. I hope it fits the prompt. If it doesn't, let me know. But I'm going to read this anyway, because this is the same author of The Ring, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's actually a collection of short stories, and it sounds absolutely awesome. The second prompt is read a 80s horror story. Now, this could also be YA or middle grade, but I'm going with Kelsie's recommendation, and that is Toady by Mark Morris. Now, this is definitely the biggest book I'm going to be reading for this readathon, but it looks very, very exciting. I don't know why I've been putting it off, and I know that Kelsie raved about it on her channel, so yeah, this is going to be a great read. Okay, the third prompt is to read an animal attack book. Now, I've read slugs recently, I've talked about rats. For this prompt, I'm going to be reading Guy and Smith Locusts. Now, I absolutely love this cover, and it sounds gory as hell and lots of fun, as locusts just swarm and eat everything in their path. So yeah, this is just going to be some good cheesy fun. The fourth prompt is to read a book with nostalgic technology, either on the cover or in the book itself. Now, I struggled with this one a little bit, but I finally found something, and I'm going to do a reread of a Stephen King, because I have promised myself that I'm going to read Stephen King every month, and I haven't read this particular one since I think I was a teenager, and that is Misery. Now, how's that typewriter on the cover? If that's not old tech, I don't know what is. Okay, the fifth prompt is to mood read a book from 2003 or earlier. Now, I don't know if this fits the bill, but this puts me in a damn good mood, and that's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm not sure how retro it is, but it is pretty weird. And it's also very, very, very short. Considering some of the books I'm reading are a little bit longer, I'm going to have fun reading this book again. Okay, the sixth prompt is to read a Fear Street, Point Horror or Christopher Pike book. I have no idea about any three of those. That was not part of my childhood. So I've decided to replace that prompt with a neon cover. And so I'm going with SP Sontau Vanitas. And you can see that gorgeous neon over there. Now this, the front of the book says, a full measure of orgiastic, spurting, steaming blood and bad sex. So yeah, this could be entertaining. And I'm also going to use this for the next prompt, which is number 7, where you have to read a book, something to do with witches, magic, cursed objects, the occult, or supernatural. Now this is got something to do with vampires, and so therefore I think it falls under the supernatural. It says here, Timmy Valentine used to be a vampire. Now he's just a 12-year-old rock star. But yeah, I think I'm going with this. I think it fits the bill. The 8th prompt is to read a horror book from the 90s. Now I did a little bit of searching here, and I narrowed it down to a couple, but I've decided on Poppy Z. Bright, Lost Souls. Now this book looks incredibly gory and graphic and kind of extreme. I have read Poppy Z. Bright before, some short stories, and I enjoyed some of them, but I'm sure this promises to be an awesome novel. It does look pretty extreme though, and pretty graphic. Okay, and the ninth and final prompt for the readathon is to read a book with by a female author or with a female protagonist, and I narrowed it down to 2. And I'm quite ashamed that I have not read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein yet, but I've decided on something else. But I might get to this by the end of the month. Let's see. I've decided on Jane Slayer. Now, how is this for a cover? It looks like a kind of zombie slasher Victorian novel. So I think it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Looking forward to this. Now we're moving on to the Watchathon. It's a further 9 prompts, and I am going to try and do as many of these as possible. Now, just to note that all my DVDs are in covers like this, in little jackets like this, so it's going to take a little bit of time. I'm not going to show everything. I've got some of them behind my head over there on my bookshelf, so just take note of what I talk about. Okay everyone, the first prompt is to watch Goosebumps. I don't know if it's episodes or movies. I think it's episodes. Now, I don't have access to that. I was not brought up on Goosebumps, and so that's probably not going to happen. But I think for the other prompts, watching 80s horrors and so on, I might watch more than 1 or 2, and then hopefully I'll get a few points for that instead. Second prompt is to watch 80s horror. Now, I'm definitely keen on watching The Lost Boys, which is behind my head here, and I would love to watch maybe The Evil Dead again as well. And there's a whole range of 80s movies that we have, but I think I'll probably stick to those 2. Okay, the third prompt is to watch a 90s Nickelodeon, yeah that's right, Nickelodeon show, either a movie or a show or something similar. I have no idea what Nickelodeon is all about. Once again, wasn't brought up with that, and so I'll have to see what the something similar means and maybe try and make a plan around that prompt, but can't promise anything there either. The fourth prompt is to watch a movie or TV show set in the 80s or 90s, or watch a newer adaptation of an old school movie show or book. Now, I'm looking at something quite interesting here. This was actually imported, it's foreign, I think it's got subtitles, and it's called Night Moves. And it's a very, very underrated thriller with Christopher Lambert, and really well worth a watch. Night Moves. Another option is The Little Shop of Horrors, or Spaceballs with Nick Moranis. And yeah, this is an absolutely hilarious movie. I love most of the stuff by Mel Brooks, so if it fits the bill, I'm going to watch it. Okay, number 5 is to mood watch anything from 2003 or earlier. I've got 2 movies in mind, depending on what mood I am in at the time, and that is Donnie Darko, which is an absolute classic, and then something a bit more light-hearted, which is A Nightmare Before Christmas. And this is one of my favorites, so it'll probably be this one again. Prompt number 6 is to watch any Disney show or movie or similar, and I'm going with a movie. I'm hoping Pixar is included with this, maybe Up or The Incredibles or Inside Out. I love Pixar, but if not, I might go with The Lion King, so we'll just have to wait and see with that. Prompt number 7 is watch any 80s movie or TV show episode. I've got a list here. I could go with any one of them or more of them, and that is Willow. I think it was heard on one of the channels as one of the recommended bonus prompts. And then Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I think that was mentioned as well. I might even go with 007, find some 80s James Bond movies and watch them, like Octopussy, or go with the Stephen King novella short story Stand By Me, which is an absolute classic, magical movie. Prompt number 8 is to watch a 90s horror movie. Now, I've been thinking long and hard about this. I've also got a short list of about 4 here that I'd like to watch. That is Dracula, The Haunting, It, and Silence of the Lambs. I've decided I've watched two recently now. It might be a toss-up between Dracula, which is one of my favourite movies, and that's the remake with Anthony Hopkins, and also Silence of the Lambs, which I come back to time and time again. Prompt number 9 is watch any 90s movie or TV show. Now there are 3 that I had in mind: Starship Troopers, which I love, Natural Born Killers, but I'm going possibly with Mars Attack. And there are some scenes in this that are just absolutely hilarious. Don't run, we are your friends. Don't run, we are your friends. I think this is just so underrated, such a funny movie. And it's got some pretty dark stuff in as well. Okay, and then we have the bonus prompt, and that is to pick any movie and watch any movie from the 1970s. Now I am going to go with either The Omen, Damien Omen, the first part in the trilogy, or American Werewolf in London. Once again, I don't have the covers for those are in the sleeves, but I think it's one of those 2 that I'll choose. Okay, those are all the prompts for the readathon and the watchathon. However, they are, wow, Kelsie, you've gone to so much trouble with this. There are a whole lot of bonus prompts as well, which I'll just read some of them, and maybe I might take in part in some of these as well. Is read a host recommendation. I think I'm reading a couple as well as watching a couple. Participate in Sick Sad April. Wear a nostalgic accessory, costume or outfit. If I can find an outfit beyond John Bon Jovi, then I might wear it on my next video when I talk about this. But we don't really have stuff like that, unfortunately. Then eat or drink a nostalgic snack or beverage. I'm sure my wife would be happy to make me a nostalgic snack or beverage. Watch any movie from the 70s, got quite a few of those. Make a nostalgia themed recipe. Listen to an old school song. Watch an old school music video. We've got plenty of that. Sing a verse or chorus. Nah, I'm not singing. Share a childhood picture of yourself. Nah, I don't know if that's going to happen. I wasn't a very attractive little boy. Play a game that you used to play as a kid. What, with myself? In honor of summer camp and ghost stories, eat a s'more. I don't know what a s'more is. I'm South African, maybe I should know what a s'more is, but yeah. Okay, another one is to watch a movie or show starring someone you had a crush on back in the day. I'm not sure how far that means, going back in the day. I think if you go back to the 2000s or 1990s, maybe Megan Fox. But no, I think you probably mean further back than that. My wife is smiling behind the camera. Next, colour a nostalgia themed colouring page or build a Lego set. Then eat an Eggo, Pop-Tart or toaster strudel. Have I mentioned that correctly? Strudel. Then attend an old school April Discord watch party. Okay, I'm still getting my way around Discord. I have no idea what I'm doing there. But maybe once I learn my way I might get a little bit more familiar with that. Next is to attend an official old school April sprint. Watch a cartoon. Hey, I can do that. Do some nostalgia themed crafting. No. And then build a pillow or blanket fort and take a picture inside it. That could be interesting. I used to do that as a kid all the time. Okay everyone, that is it for the old school April TBR Watchathon, everything. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to taking part. And oh, by the way, it's a team event and I've joined the Silver Snakes. So go Snakes, go. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Cheers.